A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today, we are going to talk about the effects of Saturn during its Dasha periods. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do, and remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Now, let us talk about the Saturn Mahadasha. Generally, when the Saturn Mahadasha is approaching, or for that matter a Saturn Antardasha is approaching, because that too is quite a long period, people generally come up in a state of anxiety, trepidation as to how the results are going to be. Well, the results have been very clearly mentioned in lot of texts, the classical texts being BPHS, Uttar Kalamrit, or for that matter Fal Dipika, and also Laghu Parashari. Laghu Parashari in fact is the one that tells us how to deal with Dasha periods, how to find their results. Today I am going to quote a shlok from Uttar Kalamrit and also add Laghu Parashari's results there to let you know how the Dasha of Saturn will work itself out. So, to remove anxiety of others, let's just pick up this quote from Uttar Kalamrit. In its Dasha Falkhand, chapter 6, very clearly has Kalidas mentioned the results of Saturn Mahadasha. He says that if Saturn is well placed in a person's chart, during its period a person becomes well known, renowned, the person acquires land, the person acquires power, the person has the ability to reach good heights. In fact, the person becomes the head of the state or can become the head of the area depending on the Desh Kal Patra. The person also has the ability to become a good tradesman, earn great money and is always ready to help others during this period. This is probably got to do with Saturn being the Karmakarak and Saturn having the attitude of servitude. During this period, person gets to do a lot of rituals and follows a lot of tradition. Saturn being old and Saturn also showing the traditional way of doing things. So, Saturn during this period brings in a lot of good things for people to come their way. I would suggest that we understand what do we mean by the placement of Saturn, Saturn being well placed. To begin with, Saturn has to be placed in either the Kendras, Trikonas, the second house. So, these are the good placements of Saturn. Then Saturn has to be either exalted, Saturn has to be placed in its Mula Trikona Rasi, its own house, or being Digbali, that is being the 7th house or in a friendly Rashi. In such cases, Saturn is said to be well placed, and such a Saturn then has the ability to give great results as Uttar Kalamrit has mentioned. Also, as per Laghu Parashari, this very Saturn has the ability to, because placed in good houses, because connected with good houses, get a lot of power and deliver the same. So, how do we check this out? Well, you can take up the chart of Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher became the first Prime Minister, a lady Prime Minister of Great Britain. We see in her chart that Saturn here is exalted in the Lagna, that is the Lagna that we see here is the Libra Lagna and Saturn is sitting right there on this Lagna. So, this Saturn here during the Vimshotri Dasha very clearly gave her, as it aspects the 10th house, as it aspects Rahu placed in the 10th house, and this combination I have made a video stating that these people rise high in prominence in a political level. So, during the period of Saturn, that is during Rahu Jupiter Saturn, she became the first leader of the opposition to lead a major political party in United Kingdom. What more, it is during the Rahu Mahadasha and Saturn Antardasha that she became the Prime Minister. So, we see how this Rahu Saturn combination, because we also know that Rahu acts like Saturn. Shanivat Rahu. So, and Rahu is also well placed. This combination gave her a great name and fame and a position that none of her gender had first taken in UK. So, this is what Saturn gives when it is well placed. Now, let us look at the other side. As far the other side is concerned, if Saturn is poorly placed, that is if it is debilitated, if it is akarak houses or not the very good houses like 3, 6, 8 or 12, in that case such Saturn, or if it is afflicted, affliction meaning Rahu-Ketu axis, in enemy houses, debilitated, in such a case that Saturn cannot deliver its good results. On the contrary, a person can be afflicted with a number of diseases, can get imprisoned, may lose all their wealth, is something that we can see from that Saturn. In fact, due to concerns of privacy, I may not be able to put up this chart, but I do have a couple of charts where I have seen when Saturn is afflicted, it is not well placed, then during that period, a person for wrong reasons can also be imprisoned, can for a very small time also be imprisoned. If you are interested in checking out another chart where you can see how Saturn Mahadasha can lead you into oblivion and may not let you come out in front of others in spite of being a very great leader, look into the chart of Subhash Chandra Bose. So, do write to us, let us know how Saturn works for you, where it is placed, how it is connected, and we will come up with more of such Dasha interpretations. Till we meet with you again, stay safe.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.